Hi Cancer, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of May. This is a very busy month ahead, so I'm going to try to cover everything I can. At the end of April, Pluto, which is the planet of death and transformation, stationed retrograde at 26 degrees and 48 minutes of the cardinal Earth sign of Capricorn on April 27th. And this fell in your house of relationships and partnerships. You feel that energy 5 days before and 5 days after. This can bring major endings and transitions. And this is very centered on your partnerships as well as on yourself, because it's how you partner with yourself in that whole story. On May 2nd, Mercury, which is the planet of communication, forms a beautiful trine to Pluto. And this is excellent for doing healing work and helping you to empower yourself with relationships and in finding self-possession. In the beginning of the month, there are 3 planets in your house of friends and groups, so a lot of focus is on partnerships. Then on May 3rd, Mercury squares Jupiter. Mercury is communication and outlook and how we learn. That can bring all forms of communication, but it's also a preview of Mercury in Gemini, where it'll be until July 11th, because later on the day, on May 3rd, Mercury enters the mutable air sign of Gemini, which is the sign it rules, and it loves to be. It's in its dignity. It brings all forms of networking, learning, connecting. For you, it's going to be transiting in your house of the imagination and the subconscious mind. And for the next couple of months, it's very critical that you pay attention to the messages and dreams that you're getting. Do journaling work. Do some manifesting with this, because in order to really manifest, you have to believe it is possible, and that's tapping into your imagination. On that date, later in the day, Saturn squares the Sun, and this can bring restrictions, and it's a reality check of what each of us needs to do to confront the lessons so that we can up-level ourselves in the new age of Aquarius. On May 6th, Venus, which is the planet of beauty, love, and money, and it's transiting in Taurus, which is a sign it rules, makes a beautiful trine to Pluto. Venus is transiting in your house of groups, and Pluto's transiting in your house of relationships. This is an excellent opportunity for romance and love. It's good for partnering with people in a variety of ways, financially, professionally, but also for doing healing work. The North Node of Destiny also forms a beautiful sextile to Chiron, the wounded healer. And Chiron is transiting in your house of career and life goals. And that's a really good opportunity for love and for feeling happier and for healing yourself. On May 8th, Venus changes signs and enters the mutable air sign of Gemini, where it'll be until June 2nd. Now Venus and Mercury are transiting in your house of the imagination and spirituality. This is good for doing healing work, spiritual work, but also very creative, with Venus transiting in the 12th house, which it actually is exalted in. So really nice placement. Then we have on May 11th a new moon that takes place at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And this new moon is at 21 degrees and 18 minutes of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus. This new moon falls in your house community, friends, networking, and social media. This new moon is very fertile and very manifesting. The moon is exalted in Taurus, and for you, it's an excellent opportunity for meeting new people. If you're single, it's an excellent time for perhaps online dating or connecting with other people. Now we've got Venus and the Sun transiting in Gemini, which is very much around local community as well. But this is a great new moon to manifest. It's also the house of wishes. And the new moon itself forms a trine to Pluto, which is a very empowering aspect. Pluto, again, is in your house of relationships. On that date, Mars squares Chiron, the wounded healer. And that's a good opportunity for taking action to heal the wounds. It also forms a sextile, which is an aspect of opportunity, to Uranus, which is transiting in your house of friends and social media. So a lot of innovation and creativity and manifesting ability in this new moon. On May 12th, Mercury forms a trine to Saturn. And that's really good for business communication and communication of all forms, really solidifying your ideas. On May 13th, that's another big date to note because Jupiter, which is the grand benefic, changes signs and enters the sign of Pisces, where it will be until July 29th. I've never seen Jupiter transit an entire sign and then change signs for a few months and then re-enter the previous sign. So this is a big deal. Jupiter rules Pisces in ancient astrology. Pisces is a fellow water sign, very compatible with your own, and Jupiter is transiting in your house of teaching and promotion and publicity, as well as higher learning and travel and empirical life experience. This is a very nice cycle for you and for all of us because Jupiter in Pisces also expands through empathy and compassion, which is so deeply needed right now. On May 17th, the Sun trines Pluto, and that's helpful energy for getting things done and feeling very powerful. On May 18th, Venus forms a sextile to Chiron, the wounded healer, and that's a helpful aspect for healing around love and pain and just feeling happier. On May 19th, Venus trines Saturn, and that's helpful for commitment and stabilizing relationships. On May 20th, the Sun changes signs and enters the sign of Gemini, where it'll be transiting until June 20th when it enters your sign and the summer solstice occurs. When the Sun is transiting in Gemini, now you've got 3 planets in your house of the imagination. A lot of opportunity this month for doing manifesting work, and we are in eclipse season now. A lot of change, a lot of with eclipses, expect the unexpected. So for you having this opportunity to center yourself through spiritual work, through meditation and prayer and manifestation, I think is crucial because so much is going to be going on. On May 21st, Mercury squares Jupiter, and now Jupiter's in the sign of Pisces. And again, a lot of communication and networking and connecting. On May 22nd, Mercury squares Neptune. That can bring confusion, that can bring deception, but it's also a very good cycle for manifesting and working with your imagination. On May 23rd, Saturn stations retrograde in Aquarius at 13 degrees of Aquarius. And for you, this is falling in your house of intimacy and unblocked wounds and debt and taxes. And that can be a difficult energy. Saturn is it's not the easiest transit having Saturn there, but you know, it's something where you need to work on what you need to heal, whether it's your money, whether it's loss or sadness. And we feel that 5 days before and 5 days after. So now Pluto and Saturn will be retrograde by that point of the month. Then on May 26th, we have a lunar eclipse. It occurs at 7:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 5 degrees and 26 minutes of Sagittarius. And this falls in your house of work and daily routine, as well as health and wellness. This could bring completion or fruition to projects you've been working on. Maybe you've been trying to get healthier and hopefully you're seeing some results. But with eclipses, they are like wild cards. So whatever we think it is, it can be a lot of other things. But we know it's a very busy time. We know it's in that sector of your chart. A lot of focus on work and habits. On May 27th, let's see here, sorry, on May 29th actually, Venus meets up with Mercury in the sky in your house of the imagination, and then it retrogrades at 24 degrees and 41 minutes of the mutable air sign of Gemini, and it'll be retrograde until June 22nd. And this is an opportunity for you for focusing on the healing work you need to do, on really, I guess, digging into the past of what you haven't released, because the 12th house is the house of endings. So really assessing what you need to release and purge, what you want to manifest, even though there is a lot going on and it's a very busy month with a lot of, for a variety of reasons. Jupiter changing signs is a big deal. Mercury and Gemini, a lot going on, and an eclipse at the end of the month, a lot of activity. And on May 31st, Mars trines Neptune, and that can be very creative for you, for professional opportunities, for promoting yourself, and for manifesting. I wish you a lot of luck. It's going to be an intense month, but I think Jupiter in Pisces is going to be beautiful for all of us. And we have it until the end of July. Again, this is a sign that is compatible with your sign. It's a fellow water sign, and Jupiter rules Pisces in ancient astrology, and it's expanding through love and compassion, which is imperative for all of us to get through this. So take care and good luck, Cancer.